Hello everyone, this is Ravi, currently working as a cybersecurity engineer in Bosch Global Software Technologies Private Limited. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss the concept called static and dynamic dispatch in Rust. Considering the length of the video, I have decided to make two videos on this concept. So let's move to the part 1 of static and dynamic concept in Rust. Static dispatch is also known as monomorphic dispatch. Usually static dispatch occurs at compile time, and the compiler determines the specific implementation of a trait method based on the known types at compile time. Whereas dynamic dispatch occurs at runtime, and it is also known as polymorphic dispatch. Okay, let us go through some coding stuff for better understanding. Now I am going to create a project with a name static underscore dynamic underscore dispatch. Let us consider a couple of simple structs called person and students with a field of name. Next, we will define a trait called info, which will contain a single function info. First, we will implement the trait for the person. Inside the implementation, we will define the info function which will display the name. Next, we will implement the same trait for the student and will display his name inside the info function. Next, to clearly see the difference of static and dynamic dispatch, I will define a couple of functions. The first function will be called as static underscore dispatch. The input to the function is a reference to a generic type t, where t can be anything that implements info. Next, I am going to define another function called dynamic underscore dispatch. The input to the function will be reference to the trait info. This reference to the trait is called trait object, which is being specified using the keyword of dyn. A trait object is defined by having a reference to a trait. We know that type has traits, that is, types are tied with some traits, and traits are not tied with types. They rather define some functionality which may be followed by some types. Therefore, when a trait object is seen by Rust, it does not try to convert it to specific concrete types, since the trait does not have types, and therefore the specific concrete versions are not being created at compile time. As shown in the code, the ampersand followed by dyn, there is only one version of this function at runtime, so this reduces the size of the compiled program. If the function is called several different types versus using static underscore dispatch, we can create the trait object using different pointers such as box or RC or reference smart pointers by wrapping the info trait inside them with the dyn keyword. Now let us use these two functions inside the main function. First, I will create a variable of type person with suitable name. Next, I will create another variable of type student with another suitable name. Let us now call the static underscore dispatch function for the two variables. In the same way, I will call the dynamic underscore dispatch for the two variables. The static dispatch function can be called for any type that has the info trait. In the same way, the dynamic dispatch can also be called for any type that has the info trait. The key difference is the input types to the two types of dispatches. The function with static underscore dispatch receives a generic type, which is resolved into concrete types, while the dynamic dispatch function has trait objects. In particular, it obtains a trait object plus a table with all the methods that are defined on the trait. Calling a specific function on the object will mean to look it up in the table and then executing the code. This will take some time to look and identify and then retrieve the code of the function. In contrast, static dispatch does not involve this lookup and is therefore completely faster when compared to the dynamic dispatch. However, sometimes we encounter a situation where out types may increase with the passage of time, and therefore we need to keep room for those types which may evolve later on with respect to time. The dynamic dispatch provides a perfect solution in these regards. Okay, in the next tutorial, we will cover that soon. Until then, keep in touch with the Rust, and if you enjoy this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And have a good day. Bye bye.